This is the first picture that introduces us to the rest of the scenes. It's at the Marabar caves, and it's in medium shot, in eye level, and in the foreground we see the white people sitting at a table, whereas the Indians are placed in the background, sitting on the ground. And it's clear how the cultures are divided through this scene, the picture.
Yeah, and here we see how the crowd is walking into the caves. It's a long shot, as we can see the whole crowd standing in front of the cave. And in the front, the English men and women are walking, while we have all the Indians walking in the back, following them.
Yes, and this is a very dark shot, and the close-up adds to the claustrophobic atmosphere. There's no space in these caves, and you can see the sides of the caves like closing in on the people.
And here we have Mrs. Moore outside the caves, and it's a close-up in eye level, and we can see that the sunlight is shining right down on her, and it's a counterpoint to the last picture where we could see that the space were closing in on the people, and now Mrs. Moore is outside and she's sweating because she got claustrophobic inside of the caves.
This is Adela and Aziz making their way up to another cave alone with the guide, and it's another long shot. They look very alone, which they are. There are only 3 people on the cliff. And it makes them look very small and fragile because it's a long shot.
Here we see the 2 cultures interact, and it's very clear that it's 2 different cultures because Aziz's skin is black and Adela's is white, and they are holding each other's hands, which is very innocent. But this is Adela doesn't have a very sexual relationship with her fiancé, so this is probably she's not used to having physical activities with a man.
Yeah, and here we see the picture which was also presented in the beginning of the movie, where we went with the picture. Adela was looking at the picture in England, and here we are in real life, and it's the payoff of this setup. And it's a long shot because we can see the whole cave and the cliffs and sky in the background.
And this is a picture of Aziz trying to find Adela. It's a picture of him standing in the opening of the cave, looking into the dark, and he's dancing in the lights, so we can't really see his facial expressions, and it makes the viewer very uncertain about his purposes and what he's actually thinking about.
Here we see Adela in the cave, and she's looking out on Aziz in the light. It's a close-up of her, so we can see very clearly that she's sweating and probably having a heat stroke, and therefore she hallucinates about the raping.
This is the last picture. We see it's from a high angle. It's from the perspective of Aziz. He's looking down from the cliff. It's a long shot, and we can see Mrs. Turton's car, which Adela is getting into.